15. Had to one up him. I like that energy. Keep it up. Anyone else been here before? No? Great. You're going to believe everything I have to say. I know it's been 10 and 15 years, but don't worry. Okay? Nothing has changed. Yeah, except your tour guide. Obviously, I'm a little more handsome. You've noticed. My jokes have also gotten worse. So you're welcome. We improve where we can. So a little bit of history behind the mystery. This place was originally owned by a lumber company until the year of 1939, which is when a man named George Prather decided that he wanted to purchase the flat land out here in front of me, which comprises our garden and parking lot areas today. Mr. Prather was hoping to use the land out there to build himself and his wife a summer cabin out here in Santa Cruz. However, this lumber company that he was purchasing the land from had different plans because they were unwilling to sell George just the flat land alone, saying they would only consider parting with it if he was also prepared to purchase the hill to my right in a package deal. And this lumber company was being, a little shady with that counteroffer because they were choosing to leave out some crucial information for Mr. Prather. What they chose to leave out was that anything they themselves had previously built on top of the hill, no matter how large or small, was completely unsuccessful because during the winter time of its construction, when the rains and landslides would come about in the area, they would find the structures they had built beginning to tumble down this hill towards the valley below due to these landslides over the entire course of the winter. So without knowing that information outright, George Prather jumps on this opportunity and he buys the land because in his mind it just seemed like a little bit more land, a little bit more money, whatever, I'll pull some strings and make it work. So he sends out a team of surveyors to see what they could discover about the land that he had just purchased, and these surveyors discovered something very peculiar. What they discovered was while they were walking up the hillside with their compasses out, they noticed their compasses were giving them false readings, anywhere from about 3 degrees off as they started making their way up the hill, increasing slowly to about 180. They got closer and closer to the top. So as they were walking up the hill, they were watching slowly as north was becoming south, which means that east was becoming
west.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. Wow, finishing my sentences. I haven't felt a connection like this in a very long time. Okay, I'm talking like before quarantine. So, do you want to meet my parents after this? So yes, east would become west, and from their compasses giving them false readings and where the surveyors were receiving those false readings, they started using that information to map out a 150-foot diameter, a boundary line of the mystery spot, which they marked out with these 2 concrete blocks. The block I'm standing on right now represents being just outside of the mystery spot, while the block closer to the hillside represents being just inside of it. Now, if I can have you all come forward enough until you can see the compass, I'm going to show you how the surveyors discovered the boundary line and also that it really exists. Right here with the compass outside of the mystery spot, true north, and the region around us is southeast. Right now, if I move the compass closer to the hillside, we'll watch it shift from southeast, oh, excuse me, buddy, sorry, to southwest. And this is what those land surveyors were doing, what they were noticing. They were moving their compasses back and forth, finding that consistent control reading outside of the mystery spot, and then moving their compass closer to the hillside until they noticed a slight shift. They'd mark that shift on their map, they'd move forward, and repeat until they discovered the boundary line runs between the 2 blocks, through these 3 trees, all the way up and around, and past the top of the hill, coming all the way back down and forming a perfect circle around the hillside, which is why these land surveyors dubbed this area the mystery circle. Very close. All right, write that one down. We've done some rebranding since then. Management shifted around. You know how it goes. So these 2 concrete blocks used to be completely flat across on their own without the 2x4s. However, over the years, the trees in front of me and their roots have crept forward, offsetting the blocks in various ways. So to compensate for that, we've of course taken the 2x4s here, shaved them down unevenly on either side, and we've made ourselves a flat surface. I'm going to prove the 2x4s are flat with this device right here. This is a level, but I have to show you the level isn't tricked. So, love moving in the tube, my man. Beautiful. This is an honest level, ladies and gentlemen. He makes an honest living. Can anyone come up and tell me if the bubble's in the middle here? Yes or no?
Is it in there?
No.
Stick to the script.
Yeah, yes.
Beautiful. I'm going to flip the level around to show you I haven't tapered or shaved it on either side, but this time I'll give you a hint. The bubble may be somewhere that rhymes with in the schmiddle. Yeah, so I know you guys didn't pay a whole $8 just to hear a complete stranger talk to you about a level piece of wood, right? That's probably incredibly boring. You could have gone to a Home Depot and it would have been the same experience, right? So I'll spice it up. I'll do something they're not as willing to do at a Home Depot. And I'll show you what 2 level pieces of wood look like. Okay, not the reaction I was hoping for. That's okay. I'm gonna need 2 volunteers now that are roughly the same height. You wanna do it?
Like she's way taller than me, so like.
That's fine. Come on up, what are your names?
I'm Juliet, she's Mia.
Juliet and Mia? Perfect, Juliet. Could you come stand right there for me? Mia, could you come stand across from her? I had a Romeo earlier. I wish you were both on the same tour. All right, so Juliet, right now, you're outside of the mystery spot, okay? Juliet, don't worry. Okay, I promise you, I'm gonna get you in there soon, but I need you to try to fight back those tears and stay strong. Okay, you're making it really hard, Juliet. Mia, that means you're inside the mystery spot. Can you feel that, Mia? Can you feel the mystery? No? That's wonderful. That's called peer pressure. She's going to do great in high school. Don't worry about it. Look lovingly at each other like a Nicholas Sparks film. Fantastic. Juliet, when you look straight ahead, you're looking about the top of Mia's head, yeah? Perfect. Mia, you're looking about her chin. Okay, let's have you switch places now. Juliet, you're entering the mystery spot. Mia, you've exited and we'll see. Oh my gosh, Mia, you grew. This is the miracle spot for you, not the misery spot. Juliet, I'm so sorry that you shrank. But for $8, you can switch places with her again. Okay, ask your parents. I gotta get home. Round of applause. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, Juliet. Does anyone else want to try it out before I explain it? You don't have to, you don't want to. Just making sure you feel included.
Want to try?
No.
Okay, we felt included. So here I'm standing outside of the mystery spot. I'm able to stand up straight and tall. Feet right below my head, cross the gap, enter the mystery spot. My body becomes subject to a slight lean. As we enter inside and progress further, our bodies will be subject to varying degrees of this lean. Down here it's very slight, it's about 2-3 degrees.
Now, is it really a mystery, or is it just because we're standing on the slant?
If I was off the clock, we'd have a different conversation. So we're going to watch it increase to 11 degrees inside the first courtyard and then all the way to 17 once we go inside the actual cabin. If you'd like to know what your body will look like in the cabin, we have this Life magazine photo on the ticket check. It'll give you a perfect idea how you're about to look. So the partner inside, being subject to this slight lean, translates to their eye level sinking down 1.5 inches, whereas the partner outside was able to stand up straight and tall with their full, complete height and no lean. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make our way up the hillside here. Please follow me. The rest of this tour and most of my comedy will be uphill from here.
You ready to go up the hill?
All right, so not only did you book yourselves on the most mysterious tour in Santa Cruz County, this is also the tour with the most exercise. You're welcome as you come up the hill. Think about a couple of things. Think about your quads, your calves, your glutes. What are they doing? How are they helping? Okay, take it a step further. Get your full $8 out of this. Start to move it, work it, pump it, squeeze it until you feel a burn. My goal is that by the time you reach the cabin, you're going to feel like you've developed hips like Shakira's. I know you're not worried, sir, but I'm talking to the rest of us. Not everyone can be born with hips that don't lie like you, okay? Some of us have to work for it. Hey, just up this way, buddy.
I'm coming.
2 more miles. You're doing great. I'm kidding. It's 3. Find a place in the courtyard. Yeah, just come on in. You guys spread out enough so everybody gets a chance to come in. Perfect. What's up, buddy?
She's over there. She fell down the hill. She's over there.
Yeah, see? Wow.
All right. So, if you put your feet together and you look around, do you notice anything strange? I already know these are women's pants. Thank you. Now I'm insecure. Take your feet, point them towards the bottom of the hill for me. Beautiful. So if you look down, you can see your feet out in front of you. All right. 6 months ago, I had a gentleman tell me this was the first time he'd seen his toes since Reagan was in office. Oh, I'm changing lives out here. Point your toes towards the top of the hill now. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're about to become more than mere mortals, okay? We're about to become a conduit to the spirit realm. I'm gonna help you contact the other side. Now, I'm not claiming to be a medium. My mom says I'm a large. Take your arms, extend them out behind you. Hold this position for 10 seconds. We will summon the spirit of Michael Jackson to this courtyard. Michael, where are you? Can you hear us? There he is, ladies and gentlemen. That one's a real thriller, right? Don't worry, I'll beat it. The jokes are bad. All right, I understand that Michael Jackson jokes can get a little bit touchy around kids. So I appreciate you guys' sense of humor. Okay, we're having a good time. Most comedians will ask you if you're having a good time. I can't risk it. So the cabin was originally built about 30 feet further up the hill on its own concrete platform. During the winter of this construction, however, a storm came along, breaking the cabin away from its foundation and causing a landslide, allowing it to slide down 30 feet where we see it today. Does anyone notice something that could have possibly stopped the cabin right here specifically?
The tree.
The tree. Thank you so much for not saying a fence line. Yeah, I get a few people that do every tour, and that's how I know they're homeschooled. Now the redwood tree, I like this one because it holds water, right? It's nature, it's touching the cabin. It looks tall, probably old. However, redwood trees grow very quickly at about 2 feet in height per year. This tree looks very large, but it's only 150 feet tall, so it's about 75 years old. Whereas the cabin was built in 1940. So the cabin is pushing nearly 81 years old. It's got about 6 years on the tree, and it's ready for the senior discount it's been waiting for. So it wasn't the tree or the fence. Why did it stop? We believe that what stopped the cabin is what's known as a gravitational anomaly present within this 150-foot diameter, present within the mystery spot itself. This gravitational anomaly emanates from the epicenter and pushes and pulls things out and away in all directions at the same time at a constant rate. So we believe that as the cabin slid, being acted upon by this gravitational anomaly head on is what allowed the cabin to slide instead of tumble. More importantly, giving it the opportunity to collect debris on its way down. Tree stumps from the lumber company, rocks, mud, dirt, everything you can imagine, until eventually it was this debris stopping the cabin, cementing it in place until about 1989. We'll talk about that more in the next courtyard because I just started talking to you extensively about a gravitational anomaly. I've noticed that a lot of you already started to check out a little bit, which is okay. You don't have to trust me. I have trust issues as well. I get it. Yeah, mine stem from a previous relationship, but it doesn't look like you wanted to do group therapy. I'm kidding. Come on, you guys. I've never had a previous. So what I do have is I have a tool. This tool's not myself, but it is going to showcase this gravitational anomaly at work. It requires a slight ritual. When I bring it out of the cabin, I need all of you as loud as you can to go. So loud that my boss can hear you down in the office and think that I'm doing a great job, okay? Sound good? Yeah. Beautiful.
It's right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one, the only, the world famous, the Board of Mystery. That's going on the internet. So a couple of notes here. Couldn't help but notice that a few of you
Did Mommy turn that lever?
It kind of looked like you didn't try. And you know what? I'm not going to call you out because, I'm not that kind of guy. But, I'm just saying.
She fell in there then.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I also couldn't help but notice a lot of the gentlemen starting to break
just
eye
fell right
contact
here.
with me. Some of you made stronger eye contact. You've definitely been noted. Good for you, sir. I know what you're thinking. I'm off at 6.
Just watch what
So
he's
we got
doing.
2 useless tools in front of you. This board is the way it appears to us. If I put my level down, the bubble goes to my left side, which means this end out here appears to be higher, and like most of Santa Cruz, it actually is. This end inside the cabin appears to be lower. It is. Thank God not everything has to be a mystery, right? So I got a billiard ball with me. Because, you know, who doesn't? And if I place it on the board and let it go, you'll see it start to get pushed up and out of the cabin by this gravitational anomaly, right? Now, we can also roll it down from the top and see the same thing. You'll see it slow down, stop, run out of batteries, give it a push. It'll come right back up and out, getting pushed out by that gravitational anomaly. Now, it could be caused by the groove I have in the board, right? So I'm gonna flip the board around. Now, I'm only doing this to show you the ball can roll in either direction, which has nothing to do with the mystery. I don't want to get you confused. We're seeing this happen because one direction sucks. Now, I could still be lying. There could be a small motor in there, a trained hamster, or maybe Harry Styles has a solo career. I have no idea. You might feel a little nauseous or dizzy when you okay, you will not throw up inside the cabin. Throw up in the cabin.
On the rail. Oh.
What's that?
You're very sideways.
Oh my gosh!
Get off. Watch this.
Right here. Right here. Right there.
Trying to pull me up.
Straight down like you're supposed to.
Daddy, it's trying to pull me
Strangely,
up.
if you move it away from the center of the mystery slot, the further you push it out, the heavier you'll feel it become. If you move it towards the center, the lighter you'll feel it become. Now, it's not magnetized or anything, it's made out of lead. You cannot magnetize lead. You also cannot lick it. So if you do, you have job applications in the gift store. The board right there is at the opposite angle of the slant in the cabin and the hill underneath, but if I stand on it, I'm still leaning the same direction as everyone. If I step off and step on, my body isn't shifting back and forth like it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's
This was
it.
mind-blowing in the 1940s, you guys. Let's show it a little bit more respect. Come on. And then this ladder allows you to walk up now using your
Okay,
hand.
let's go push the ball.
Proves nothing scientifically. It's just really cool. You can hang on.
How far below is there like a gravitational force?
How far below?
Where is it?
Where is it? It's on the other side of this wall here. On that corner.
Other side.
Yeah, yeah. It's on the opposite side.
I'm just standing where I am.
So enjoy your time, you guys. This is the free time that you paid for. So was it really free? I don't know. That's for you to decide.
She's right here. She didn't drop it. She might climb up on the wall.
What did you say? She dropped in the courtyard. I can actually climb. Stand on one foot.
Push that way.
Parker.
Now, push this way.
I feel like I'm staying on a flat place.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's gonna fall.
Okay, lean forward.
Alright, we got about 2 more minutes in the cabin, you guys. Grab another photo and then head out to that next courtyard. We're gonna pick up the tour.
I can't go down.
Good job.
Help me, Daddy.
Okay,
Get down from this
okay,
very, very
Okay, one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're almost stuck there forever.
Run up the hill. Going out there.
It's time to go out.
I feel bad.
You feel like you're
Why is it tipping? Like,
I feel so weird in there.
I don't. I just feel blah.
Alright, so this second courtyard was originally designed for anyone experiencing nausea or dizziness. So they had a place to come out and get some fresh air. I've been working here for a number of years, so I've developed a breathing exercise that's going to help alleviate your symptoms. So take your right hand, hold it up like you're raising it in class. Beautiful. Take that hand, place it over your stomach. Okay, if you want to get technical, your tummy. You're going to start making some small circles and taking some deep breaths. This is what's known as a gastro massage. Okay, this is going to help alleviate your nausea. This has been practiced by the yogi for centuries. Now, finally, you're going to take your free hand. Okay? You're going to reassure yourself that everything's going to be okay. Do that for 5 seconds. If you're still dizzy, that's because it doesn't work. Now, the block below me was originally intended for your bench. However, since its inception in 1975, California has suffered a few earthquakes, one of which resulted in a sinkhole swallowing the top end of the block and causing it to look the way it does for us today. We were originally planning on digging this end out of the ground, leveling this back out, making it an inviting place to sit again, until the contractor we hired noticed something interesting. You notice that where I'm standing appears to be the higher end, across from me it appears to be lower, but they're actually flipped. So as I walk away from my level towards the fence, I'm technically walking uphill, but it looks like I'm starting to get shorter. As I walk back to my level, I'm walking downhill, but it looks like I'm getting more handsome. We'll work on it. You can double check my math, of course. We can take the billiard ball in the water again, place the billiard ball down, we'll see it roll down towards my left, or the water behind it. You see the water follow the ball, both of which are rolling downhill.
I need a rock. I have a rock.
It's not like we just saw that 10 minutes ago. Okay, I get it. You guys don't seem very mystified. You seem a little bit disappointed. Now, you're nowhere near as disappointed as my father when I told him that I was going to an art school, so thank you. I'm kidding. I've never met the guy. So I'm gonna need a couple of volunteers. I'm gonna need someone who's about 6 feet tall, not just on Tinder. Oh, he's like, oh, perfect. Yeah, right there, pull his face out towards everybody. Somebody 5'10". Anybody 5'10"? That's a 6 foot tall question again. 5'9". See some liars. That's all you, Slick. Get up here. Right there for me. Perfect. 5'8". Beautiful. 5'6".
I'm hungry.
Take 5'5", but not as picky as the girls on Tinder.
Oh, you're 5'5".
Wonderful. 5'3".
You're 5'3".
5'2".
Mia,
All right, so we've successfully created the AT&T service bar. Come on, they did a great job. All right, so look to your left, look to your right. Become familiar with who's shorter, who's taller. Make sure that everybody with me is seeing the same thing out here that you are up there. I'm doing this to prove it's not an optical illusion for us caused by the roof line, because out here we can all see it. Up there they cannot, but we'll all see the same results together in a moment. Juliet, do you want to switch places with this handsome gentleman down here for me? Perfect. I make you switch places with this wonderful young lady here, and then, sir, you're perfectly fine the way you are, but you already knew that. And then if you look back to your left and your right, you should be seeing eye to eye with everybody who's shorter and taller. We've really leveled out the playing field. Now, we also offer marriage counseling here. We're incredible at helping you see eye to eye with your partner, and it's only $8 if you ever end up needing it. To recap, these two women walked downhill but gained about a foot in height. You're feeling great. Welcome to the WNBA. You got drafted to the Suns.
Over here, boys.
Alright, you can lean against the fence or take a seat on the stairs, wherever you feel inclined. No pressure.
Staying right here, so I stay.
You guys want to help out with this last demonstration? You guys want to do it? Yeah? What are your names?
Parker, Ethan, go help.
Yes? No, that's right. When a strange 22-year-old says, hey, come up here, you run the other way.
Go help.
You guys want to do it? No? Shot myself in the foot with that joke. What was your name, Slay?
Eros. E-R-O-S.
Eros?
Yeah.
Eros. That's a really dope name, man. Eros. Why don't you come stand right there for me? Someone else want to help out Eros? My man? What's your name, Slick?
Oh, Rayon.
I'm Rayon? Rayon, would you come stand right there for me? Perfect. Welcome to the last demonstration, everybody. This last demonstration is called the T-blocks. Does anyone know why? Great guess. Yeah, thank you so much for playing. I really appreciate your participation today. So we used to have a tour guide that worked here. His name was Trevor. And we loved him. He was a great man, but he was also a little bit older. And just over a decade ago, the mystery got the better of Trevor. I'm trying to politely say that Trevor tripped. So nowadays we wave to Trevor like this. I'm totally kidding, you guys. That would be weird, right? Don't worry. His name was Sean. So anyway, this block used to be completely flat across all the way from where Eros is standing. But in 1989, a very small catastrophic event comes through California, and the block is offset slightly by about a 1/16 of an inch, favoring the side that Rayon is on right now, making that the slightly taller end of the block. If anyone's curious what happened in 1989, it was Taylor Swift being born. Yeah. Rayon and Eros, can you come forward real quick? You like that one a little too much.
That was
You guys see this bubble touching that black line right there? A little bit closer to you, Rayon? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna take a quarter and put it underneath your side of the level arrows. We do that. Bubble goes back in the middle. It's not touching either of the black lines, which is exactly what we want. We've zeroed out the level with the width of a quarter. Now the width of a quarter is just under a 1/16 of an inch. So if I take the width of a quarter, multiply it by the entire length of the block, we'll discover there's 1.5 inches of height difference, which means the end of the block underneath Rayon is sticking up out of the ground 1.5 inches higher than the end of the block underneath Eros. Now, you both step back to the ends of the block. Perfect. Rayon, do you want to come stand right here for me, buddy? Yeah, just back to where you were. Perfect. All right, turn and face Eros. Beautiful, buddy. Stand up straight, look straight across. When you look straight across, Rayon, where are you looking on Eros? You looking like his collarbone? No? Where are you looking? More?
After his face here.
His face here? Okay, perfect. Eros, when you look straight ahead, buddy, where are you looking?
Top of his head.
Top of his head? All right, perfect. Let's have you two switch places. All right, now when you do, we're only going to see you grow and shrink 1.5 inches, but instead... Oh my gosh, Eros, what are you, like 6 feet tall now, dude? Nice job! them so fast, right? Okay, so that was easily more than an inch and a half, right? That was like, you know, maybe 2, 3, possibly 4. So that begs the question, what happened? Why'd you get so short? Why'd you get so tall? Can I level with you two real quick? Yeah, I have no idea either. Yeah, which probably just furthers your anxieties out here and your desire for wanting someone like me to get to the bottom of the mystery. You were probably hoping at some point today I was gonna stop wasting your time with these fruity jokes I've prepared and, you know, actually just tell you what's going on here. And I'd love to. I genuinely wish that I could, but a few years ago we made a mistake. We decided to call ourselves the Mystery Spot, not the Solve Spot like I wanted to. So I'd be out of a job. But I have some theories as to why these oddities have been occurring around you. I'm going to give you those so you don't feel like you're going home totally empty-handed. But first, we owe Eros and Ray on the round of applause.
I want to
They
see
were
some
fabulous.
of those yellow
Take a bow if you like. That's the roses they're
I
throwing
want
at
to
you.
see
Blow
some
some
of
kisses
those
at you
yellow
guys.
slugs on the
So my first theory, I believe there's a small
Finally.
pool of magma
Finally.
directly underneath us that's spinning the opposite of the Earth's rotation. Now this is causing friction. That friction is creating a magnetic field in the area. This magnetic field is what's caused our compasses to go awry down there, as well as a few of the oddities we've been noticing in and outside the cabin, but not quite all of them. So my next theory is a little more scientific. I believe there's a large fault running directly underneath the cabin. Now this fault is emitting noxious CO2 gas. And we've all been having a group hallucination for $8 and a parking fee, which in Santa Cruz County isn't just a great deal, okay? It's also incredibly believable. You can actually get anything you want from your drug dealers out here. I cannot stress that enough, all right? Last night I needed shoes, so of course I went out and I picked up these for mine. I have no idea what he laced them with, but you know, I've been tripping all day. My last theory requires everybody rub their hands together like this for me. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe with all of my heart and soul, okay, with every fiber of my being, that a very long time ago, there was an alien spaceship that crash landed, landing right where that cabin is today. And of course, this crash caused aliens to survive. However, they didn't want to survive, right? They wanted to thrive. So they thought, well, gosh, how are we gonna thrive on this new foreign home? One of them goes off on his own. He has a spiritual journey. Comes back months later having had an epiphany, and this epiphany gave him an idea. He sat here and he thought, you know, hey, what if I just built a sideways cabin in the middle of the woods? You know, I feel like I could probably take people through, you know, maybe have them see things they wouldn't normally see, or I could, you know, convince them to do things they wouldn't normally do, like, I don't know, ooh and ah for a piece of wood, or rub their hands together because a handsome man told them to. Mysterious. Thank you guys. You've been absolutely wonderful. If you enjoyed the tour, my name was Chris. If you didn't like it, don't worry. My name was Anna. Now, I know you didn't pay $8 for some mediocre jokes. You were hoping for these Mystery Spot bumper stickers, right? Yeah. They'll stick to anything you want: your house, your cat, your wife, your spouse, your mother, your dog, your sister, your cat, your brother, anything under the sun. Some of you might be thinking, Chris, hey, my car's red. This is black and yellow. It's gonna look tacky and clash. You're not wrong. Directly behind you is a sea full of cars that I've personally hand-selected for each and every one of you. Okay, so all you're gonna do is take a few stickers, you're gonna wander out there, and then pick out your favorite car. It doesn't even have to be yours. Just slap on a sticker and walk away. You're not gonna say anything about it, I'm not gonna say anything. Come on up and collect your bumper stickers. You can have as many of these as you like. I don't pay for them, my boss does. Tips are appreciated, and thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a lovely rest of your afternoon.
You get a sticker?
That was very sweet of you.
You get a sticker.
Now come on up, I don't bite, that costs
Go get a
extra.
sticker. Mystery spot.
Oh,
It's a mystery spot.
I don't want anybody to put it on. Come on. Can I get another one?
Yeah, go get another one.
Daddy, this is the snail that I was talking about. I want to see one of these snails.
If I see one, I'll let you know. They They have some in there? Maybe they're hiding.
Look, there's cracked rocks.
It might be a little too cold for them too.
Where do I get the cracked rock?
You want to do the rock smashing? Oh, they got a big one.
Okay, do you want it right in the middle? Crack, right?
Open it again?
Or do you want to go along with it?
Yeah.
No.
Like this way?
Cracked rock.
Yeah, it's for cracking your geode. Don't put your sticker here.
Isn't it weird how that hurts?
Stickers everywhere. Like mystery stickers.
Alright, let's go.
It's a Kia, it's okay.